Cancel culture is alive and well, and it is targeting Star Wars Theory, one of the most popular Star Wars YouTubers on YouTube. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Rolling Stone, the kings of cancel culture, are at it again. They published this article written by C.T. Jones. Headline reads, his guest said women don't like Star Wars. He agreed and sparked an internet debate. The headline is absolutely false. Star Wars Theory did not respond at all. He simply kind of laughed or giggled at his guest's comments. He didn't make any kind of agreement whatsoever. So right off the bat, Rolling Stone, CT Jones are lying, but shouldn't be a surprise. This is the publication that lied about a fraternity at the University of Virginia. They lied about the members of that fraternity at the University of Virginia. They also lied about a lacrosse team at Duke University. So this publication has a well-known track record of absolutely lying and trying to destroy people's reputations. Unfortunately, for the fraternity and the fraternity members of the University of Virginia, as well as the members of the Duke lacrosse, they fell victim to that. But I think Rolling Stone's reputation is such now that pretty much no one takes them seriously. But that is not stopping them from trying to destroy people's lives that they seemingly hate for having different views on Star Wars than them. And that's what it looks like this is all about. So Star Wars Theory basically brought on a psychologist, a female psychologist named Sadia Khan, who had this to say. Do we need more women in Star Wars? No, we don't. And women don't even watch Star Wars. They don't even care about it. It's a man's little thing. Let them have it. So that's what the entire article is about. It's utterly ridiculous. They shaped this entire article about this little quote here, completely taken out of context, of course. It was part of an answer of a much longer question, a question about Charmin Obaid-Chinoy's comments about it's time for women to finally be in charge of Lucasfilm, which were utterly absurd in the first place, especially given the fact that women have been involved in the creation of Star Wars from the get-go. A woman, namely Kathleen Kennedy, has been steering the creative direction of the series since George Lucas sold Lucasfilm to the Walt Disney Company back in 2012 or whenever it was. So for over a decade. Didn't make any sense, was utterly ridiculous, and in my opinion, was clearly showing that they're still pushing that feminist agenda over there at the Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm. But they basically use this line from Sadia Khan to try and railroad Star Wars Theory. Like, the next sentence here in this paragraph, this isn't the first time the Star Wars fandom has dealt with disagreements surrounding racism. Racism? What does this have anything to do with racism? Where'd that come from? Oh, we're just going to tag that on there. I have no... She's saying women. Do we need more women in Star Wars? No, we don't. And now we're getting racism. What? What's happening here? It's utterly ridiculous. These people are just absolute liars. They try and paint some of what used to be some of the most negative things in this country onto people to try and destroy their lives, even though there's no evidence to support the accusation. And that's exactly what they're trying to do here. I mean, they just randomly throw the accusation of racism in here. The implication that Star Wars Theory is now racist. It's utterly sick and wrong. No evidence to support it. They just throw it in there. Goes on to try and provide evidence of other quote-unquote controversies. Basically, all of these have been debunked. The Kelly Marie Tran stuff, debunked. The John Boyega stuff, that was Star Wars minimizing him on the Chinese poster. So that's Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company doing that. And then what else? The Reva, the Moses Ingram stuff. She shared 4 DMs to her Instagram that people sent her on Instagram. That apparently she had her DMs open, so people could send her that stuff. which seems just kind of weird that you just have your DMs open, right? If you're going to be in a show, and maybe one of them was questionable, the others not so much at all. So clearly, just trying to spin these media narratives that they've created around Star Wars, and now they're trying to use it as a cudgel to bash Star Wars theory. They go on and try and use the response to him, which they're claiming is like a hashtag Women in Star Wars was created as a response to him. No evidence of that, in my opinion. 4.1 million views. Probably that hashtag has been around for a long time, and they decided to just glom onto it because maybe one person who had a response to him decided to use that hashtag. That's just my speculation there. And they specifically respond to this one. I guess this one of the 4.1 million views, one of them has 2.8 million. So even if you believe them on face value, it looks like there's maybe one prominent critic on TikTok who had almost 3 million views, right? 75% of the 4.1 million. So, and then of course, the evidence they have that it is a media narrative is literally people who work in the media. Rachel Leishman is the editor at the Mary Sue, one of the most repugnant publications on the internet. I don't know who these other people are. Ben Hart, unclear who he is. Sawyer, not sure who that is. But I mean, it's just utterly ridiculous. And then, of course, they do what Prime Video tried to do with Vanity Fair, right? They bring in these quote unquote experts to try and justify their position. So this Paul Booth guy sounds like he's probably some kind of political stooge posing as some media and popular culture expert at DePaul University. I doubt it. They do this all the time. They try and bring in these experts to prop up their position and use that as a cudgel to convince people to attack Star Wars theory. And that's what they've done. It's sick. It's disgusting. And cancel culture isn't going away. These media outlets aren't going to go quietly. They are going to continue to try and destroy people's lives. I mean, we're seeing this right here. This entire article was written to destroy Star Wars theory's lives. And sure, you could say, oh, they wanted clicks and they're getting that. Sure. That's probably a ancillary benefit that they're getting revenue. They're getting traffic to the site. But I think their main purpose in writing this article was to try and destroy Star Wars theory because he is a critic of modern Lucasfilm and their storytelling for the most part. Obviously, I disagree with him on a lot of his opinions about Star Wars, but he does criticize the sequel trilogy, and we're in agreement. I'm in agreement with his criticisms of much of the sequel trilogy. Not everything, but definitely in agreement with a lot of it. In agreement with a lot of his criticisms of modern Lucasfilm. And that's why they really want to destroy him, because he has a different opinion than them on Star Wars. So they wrote a giant hit piece to try and destroy him. This is the state of our media right now. It's sick. It's disgusting. We must oppose this. We must oppose this at all costs and ensure that innocent people like Star Wars theory are not destroyed by these malicious and, dare I say, evil. These people are, this is an evil act, liars. But those are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.